right, legends, much love to everybody. Let's check what the price of Bitcoin is doing. Much love. Make sure to smash up that like button on your way in, and let's analyze the situation for the price of Bitcoin. Much love to everybody. Let me just turn the music a little bit low here, and we'll go right away through the comment section and analyze this situation for the price of Bitcoin. We did not continue to the downside throughout Friday and the weekend. We bounced on Friday from a support zone. I did see some people enter some longs in this area, and today we're getting a nice little move to the upside. So what is the scenario? What are we looking at? Are we looking for higher prices? Are we looking for a rollover soon? So we'll map the situation on today's stream, and yeah, let me just go quickly through the comment section, guys. I think we're going to focus mainly today on the 1 hour, 15 minutes, and then we can zoom out later on the stream to the 4 hourly and basically talk about what is going on, right? What is going on, but most importantly, what's happened in the last few days and what structures could we have here, right? Because you might be confused of, do we take out 66.8k? Do we manage to get all the way up to 67? And there is very much that chance, of course, as explained throughout the previous weeks, that this does look, you know, all part of a potential larger corrective move. We got the expanding diagonal here as a wave 1 or a wave A, right? Which would mean that you want to take out these lows, either in a wave C or a wave 3, but expanding diagonal is not too common. So can we combine other corrective structures here? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, guys, so smash up the like button. Let me just quickly say hello to the wonderful community. And yeah, we'll crack on. We'll crack on, guys, with the different scenarios. I have no local trade, no new local trade taken. Trades from last week, of course, previous weekend coming into Monday was a very, very good short entry, as explained in the video update from the weekend. Okay, this is such a great zone to take a significant trade as a possible swing, right? We're looking for a move of a few $1,000s down. Can it be the high at 65k area to go to lower prices? And obviously, little day trade long that was taken here last Tuesday. Nothing new here on the weekend. I did not get into a long or a short. I'm interested in a fantastic trading week, just like previous week, which was really good. Okay, got into decent short, which I'm still holding a decent chunk of that short position. Okay, that was mentioned on the stream, on the video update. Okay, we got a nice move down last week, and that was the main short from the video update that was shared here on YouTube. Still holding a significant chunk of this short. Okay, taking significant profits as well, obviously, right? And lowering risk with stop loss. I'm realizing that this bounce could form a lower high, and it will be explained. Do we get a new entry? Can we add to this position if someone did take this last week, right? Either Monday or Sunday. And local trades, the only local trade was a mainly a long position that was taken here on Tuesday stream, right? Looking for that 5th wave finish and looking for this bounce, which was stopped out a few times. And I'm creating all of this journal from all of the trades that was taken from the start of July, basically. Also holding that main swing long position, and just going to journal, of course, putting everything together so you actually see all the single trades. Still have a few trades to put in here. This does take quite a lot of work. I used to journal before a lot, but I don't lately because, you know, when you come consistently profitable, you just don't follow up on a journal, right, that often. But I want to do it just for transparency, build it up for the community, for YouTube, and just share basically the trades that have been taken, not only just share the exchanges, right? So yeah, every single trade is going to be journaled from now on. Okay, taken either on YouTube or a setup that was mentioned on YouTube, regardless if I enter, if it's stopped out or not, or if it's gone to profit, or from the trading community, of course. And that's what is going to make us stand from the rest of other channels or other communities, right? That total transparency, going through setups that we actually mention on the channel, okay, or on the inside of the trading community, of course, right? If you're not in the trading community, make sure to send me the word access. I'll send the information on how you can get access to the community, of course, and to all of these great tools that we have at mindpillar.com, such as order flow, CVD, right, that we are building consistently, new stuff. Right, said that, first link, guys, in the description if you're interested. Vamos, Andy, let's go. But now we are on YouTube, so we need to talk about the analysis, the setups, and what I was, what I am looking for. Because one favorite scenario that I had from last week was maybe getting continuation to the downside, because we know that the 61k zone is such a great level to long, but that didn't happen. We did get that bounce from that 2-hour order block, and the second point of control. I saw, people not taking this level into consideration too much, but literally we bounced off that high volume node. I like to call it the second point of control, because when you get the range from the entire zone, right, since June, basically, this entire range, obviously you'll have the point of control here to the upside, right, which is going to be a potential resistance now in the next coming minutes if we do get up there. But when we do take a look at the range from June to about mid-July, right, we do have that second highest volume spike right over here. And that's where we did bounce on Friday, right? You can see the second point of control getting that bounce. So I did see some people longing. I know Path Maria entered that long position, it's a valid support level, right? We knew on Friday that there was that potential of that bounce in that region, purely based on the second point of control of June, July, and August, and that 2-hour order block, right? And we know that Bitcoin is cheeky. It can get a significant bounce from the 0.88 Fibonacci, right? When you are just a few $100s away from hitting a major low. We've seen it consistently here in July, right? So if we are at support and on the lower time frame, it looks like a 5-wave structure coming to an end. It's worth a long, right? If you're happy in taking that long, we mentioned the setup on the stream on Friday, right? Stop loss, give or take $100 beneath the low, right? If you want to have that attempt to look for this bounce locally. A few days later, we are bouncing, right? So Bitcoin's being cheeky here, right? You think that you're going to claim those lows that we did have from the first week of August, and lately, I mean, this is just a quick example right over here from the rally of July, where you see the price creating higher lows, literally at the 0.88 Fibonacci from that previous low, right? So when you get Fibonacci retracement from the low to the high, you're hitting the 0.88, you're getting a bounce. From this one to this one, 0.88, getting a bounce. And on Friday, we're like, are we going to hit that 0.88? We're not going to come down to hit those lows. 0.88 touched with that 2-hour order block, with the second point of control of June, July, getting that bounce of just over $1,000, right, in the last 2 days. Not too much volatility, not massive price action. Unfortunately, it is the summer, but we can still make gains throughout these ranges, throughout these structures. And that's what we do, right? Despite the volatility being low. So, right, let's dive in through the comment section. First of all, guys, as seen at the beginning of the stream, guys, this content is not financial advice. It's educational content, all right? And just trade at your own risk, of course. We're just here to analyze, and I'm here to talk about my personal trading setups and what I think that I see on the chart based on my experience. Okay, right, Wayne, much love. Vamos, Andy, let's go. Trust you had a great weekend. Hit the like button, guys. Smash it up if you do enjoy the content. Chichan, let's go. Andy, are we bullish or bearish? Hi, how are you, Andy? I'm doing good. Immortal, bullish or bearish? I have to say I'm pretty neutral. I'm pretty neutral. This rangey structure is giving us several options. We hit local support on Friday. So is the bounce going to be great? Will it not be great? Will it be a shallow bounce? Will it come back down? Will it be a multiple 1-2 here locally and continue down? Or are we going to form a triangle here, which is currently a kind of a juicy option? We're just very, very rangy for many weeks now, just getting moves of $1,000 to $2,000, right? We kind of stuck in between $66,000 and $63,000 for the last few weeks, right? Making very small movements. So yeah, we'll discuss a few options on this stream, guys. Okay, Andy, mucho amor, samurai de la paciencia y el chillax. Much love, Paz Maria. Just talking about you. Agreed, immortal. Much love, legends. Vamos. Hi, coach. Welcome. Thank you so much for all the learning. Can't get enough. Thank you so much, my man, for the kind words. Time to hitch a ride on the market. Makers money train. Josh, thanks for joining, my man. Hi, you guys, bullish or bearish, short term? Well, for the moment, we're getting this little uptrend momentum, right? So I'll talk about that right away. Love from space, Babby. That cheeky wick took me out of my long yesterday. It was such a fun trade. Stopped out in green. Well, that's okay. No worries. Autumn is most bearish season in bear market, so soon should be a flush. Yeah, that's something interesting to talk about as well. Autumn in the bear market, right? Which is obviously Q3. Usually is that last push to the downside. Buenos días y feliz inicio de semana. Andy, vamos, Donkey, much love. Anup, yo, what's going on? El capo de capos. Thank you so much, the boss of bosses. Short from 62.7 and liquidation on 64,500. Will it? We'll see. Hi, Andy. What is a great level for a short locally? Hi, legends. Much love. We're going to talk about that right away. Much love from Netherlands. Sad day. One of the Scott has died today. Too young. Love life. Oh my goodness. Much love from Netherlands. Sad day. One of the chart champion coaches. Yeah, I know chart champions. I know Daniel. I actually learnt a few things from Daniel a few years ago. And wow, he died today. Too young. Wow, that's very, very sad news. Very, very sad news. I was not aware of that. Obviously, I don't follow other channels, at least anymore. I used to. But I know Daniel. I've met Daniel. I actually met him in Singapore. Great guy. Great trader, I have to say. And this is very, very sad news, I have to say. Wow. I actually have been shocked by this at the moment. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually shocked about this. I don't know who this guy is. But anyway, rest in peace. What can we say? Damn. It's over for the Bulls. Okay. Anyway. It's over for the Bulls. Bears. And Bears. Over for the Bulls and the Bears. Wow. We're getting a bit of a pump right now on Bitcoin. So let's analyze this situation and talk about the levels, most importantly, of resistance, right? And obviously zooming out here, the best thing that we can do is look at that major point of control that we do have of the entire range, right? Which naturally should have some kind of a resistance reaction, right? We'll go through the lower time frame. Somebody was asking, I'm interested in shorting the bounces if I have a reason to short the bounce, right? This move, I have to say, can be counted as an impulse. It can also count as a correction. So the main reason is the overlap. When you have not a clean impulse down, which is pretty obvious that it could be an impulse. and you have some overlapping structure in the middle, which can be counted as a corrective move, as a three-wave structure. I mean, obviously, all of this zone could be a wave X, okay? And then you have a zigzag down, so it could be a WXY. And you can also have an extra wave 4 here, okay? A 4, 5, and a 4, 5, and you have a double 1, 2 to the downside here, okay? So this movement, it can be an impulse, it can be a correction. If it's an impulse to the downside, we would prefer a lower high from this zone, right? We would prefer a lower high. If it's an impulse down for either a wave 1 or a wave A, okay, you want a lower high. A flat here would not make too much sense, okay? So you want it to be a wave 1 or a wave A. Said that, we want a correction up, right, for a wave 2 or a wave B. So can we form a wave 2 or a wave B here? We absolutely can. So that's what we're going to talk about right away. On the bearish case scenario, right? Let's dive in through the bearish case. So we got that point of control of this entire range, which I'm going to leave for the moment, right? We know that's resistance. We know this could be a zone where the price struggles, right? We've got a couple of cheeky lower highs, which I absolutely love for a SFP, right? We know when we have a major move to the downside with some decent volume. I mean, well, decent volume. We had more volume here lately. But despite we had the separation of the overlapping move down here. So when we do form lower highs after a nice leg down, right? I wouldn't say it's a significant leg down. This zone is very interesting for an SFP, right? The confluence is not great. The point of control being here would have been much better. Will we manage to reach those highs, or are we going to reject before, right? That is the main question. So most important zones here, without a doubt, for me, for a trading attempt. Devil's doing community today, of course, and he's talking about some interesting attempts, okay, at this zone, some interesting Elliott wave scenarios from this push to the upside. I just want to break down the levels here very, very quickly, right? What levels could look interesting for a rejection in this case on this uptrend momentum that we are getting right throughout the last few days, and especially today. And there's no doubt the point of control, is a significant level. This is the point of control from June, July, and part of August. We also have these lower highs, which is great for an SFP. When we do take a look at the Fibonacci retracement from the highs to the lows, we do have the golden pocket, and we've been loving the golden pocket from the last few weeks. It has been respected many, many times, right? Like one that we can see clearly here is the push down, push to the upside, Fibonacci from high to lows, golden pocket, right? Just hit nicely, almost to the dollar, and rejection. So we also got the golden pocket from this high to this low, right over here, with incredible confluence, right? That was the main short trade that was explained the previous weekend, right? To take either on Sunday or Monday, double top, right? We was shared on this video update. This was my main trade, okay? My main trade from last week. Awesome week last week. And now it's a new trading week, which, I only need one good trade for the week. One good trade. So I'm going to be very, very careful, right? Hopefully it's going to be 2, maybe 3, because I know there's people that want several trades, right? If we can, several good trades for the week to increase our capital as fast as we can, but we can't rush things in trading, guys, right? We can't rush things. So I'm here to just share what I am looking at, and basically hopefully you enjoy that, right? So yeah, golden pocket here was also very well respected, with a lot of confluence from this leg to the downside. So going back to this, right, we're looking for a major level here of rejection, see if it's worth the entry. So this golden pocket, I have a little bit of an issue, right? We always take into consideration Elliott wave theory, and it is true that this move down can be counted as an impulse, or a WXY double zigzag. We can break that down right away, and it's just things that you need to take into consideration, because if it would be a clear impulse down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know that the probabilities are very, very high for this to be an impulse in a wave 1 or a wave 8, then naturally you are going to be very, very confident in a rejection in this territory, right? With the proper invalidation being the high at 65.4. And that's what we are trying to figure out, right? Will this resistance zone manage to reject? And we need to take into consideration, how are we getting up there, right? How are we getting up from this zone? And it's pretty clear by the moment, right, as we speak, that for the moment, we are forming a three-way structure, right? Is it going to be a 1, 2, 3, right, 4 and 5 and a corrective move in the next coming days? Or is it going to be a ABC, right, where we're going to create the choppiness, we're hitting resistance, and then we get the pullback down throughout this week, right? We reverse, really struggling at this resistance area. So my main first level of interest would be the point of control. I'm going to zoom in on the lower time frames because, yeah, we could be getting into a trade. I could be getting, not we, sorry, I am talking like we, you, it's me, right? I could be getting into a trade here based on an ABC potential, right? Got a bit of a flat right there if you wish, or yeah, W flat fits better here for this B wave in the bearish case. ABC, is it possible here? Obviously, it would be a bit of an extended C wave, or is it going to be a third wave? We'll zoom in right away, but preferably it does reject at, you know, very, very strong resistance levels, right? Such as the point of control from June and July. Well, June, July, August, right? The entire range of the last 3 months, right? Not much here, really. I mean, you could arguably discuss rangy structure. We did get a little reaction. I'm in no local trade, guys. Okay, no local trade here. So I'm looking for that trade setup, of course, and I want to share that with you guys, right? Where I'm looking specifically for that trade, and it kind of looks juicy at the moment, based on the ABC movement to the upside. That's what we need to figure out here, if we are actually forming an impulse, or it looks more of an ABC. Yeah, we're just about coming to scratch almost that point of control. I mean, I don't know why it's differing here. It's a little bit differed on the 15-minute, but the point of control is slightly higher. Let me just get this off the chart, because yeah, it's not technically. It is hitting the start of the big high volume node. Okay, it is hitting the start. As you can see, the big chunk of volume is coming in this zone. So yeah, we are going to be coming into big resistance at the moment, as price is moving up. Can we have this as an ABC? You got 1, 2, 1, 2, a couple of 1, 2 potential here. Most bullish case, something that we need to be aware of. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned of a multiple 1, 2 here. So you got 1, 2. This could be another 1 and 2. And you have another 1 and 2 here, right? Where you got a wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. Another 1 and 2, and then price is ready to shoot out. Not very beautiful multiple 1 2, I have to say. This second wave 1 is a little bit longer than this one, so it's not ideal. So ABC potential is looking quite good. Highest amount of volume in this leg. A bit of choppiness here. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Yeah, this could be getting ready for peaking out here. We could be peaking out here based on the local price action. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 and 5, where we could be looking at this zone to be starting to get exhausted, which is looking good. You got volume decreasing, of course, from the leg to the upside that we had a few hours ago. So that's something that we really want to see, right? You want to see the volume decreasing as you form lower highs. So you got those diversions here. Coming close to that point of control. %50 Fibonacci. Yeah, this is the thing. We might be waiting for a major level to be hit, such as the point of control or the golden pocket, and then the price front runs that zone. It already hits the 50%. We got a couple of cheeky lower highs that I would be happy to take an SFP from, just because we have the 50% Fibonacci. You know, for me, when we have some nice lower highs with a 50% Fibonacci of the overall move down, with a ABC potential, right, where we could be finishing the 4/5s from this leg, maybe we end up in a diagonal here. Would be nice to actually get a higher low and then one more push up and then get the corrective move throughout the next coming hours. That's something that I want to short a valid resistance, right? Because Elliott wave theory on its own, obviously can work, but I want to hit a major resistance, a major confluence area. And this is what we look for, right? We look for the resistance zones in this case, right? Where the price could reject, combining Elliott wave theory from the lows that we formed of the downtrend of last week. So we can actually say, right, an ABC potential is very much real here to get the rejection. Okay, so nice resistance at 63.9K, where we are almost hitting it, right? Could we front run this level and roll over? Then yes, but I mean, I have to say that's the most attractive one before hitting the point of control. 50% Fibonacci. I want to check this extension as well. Yeah, 2-to-1 extension. I like that level, so I'm going to set some alerts here on the set some alerts at this level, and to see if we do manage to get that next leg to the upside. So yeah, bearish case. I'm trying to identify the bearish case here, guys. If you've noticed, from the lows that we formed on Friday, push up, sideways momentum, and ABC flat here does make sense. And now our new fresh wave is here, where you have a couple of 1-2s potential, 3, 4, and now we're finishing the fifth wave, which could be a cheeky diagonal. So yeah, preferably price doesn't move down much lower than here. See if we can form this diagonal here on that wave 5, because the idea from this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because on this push, 1, 2, yeah, all of this being the third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, you got a bit of a diagonal right there, so it does fit nicely for a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. It kind of would make a lot of sense to finish the impulse, right? You got the highest amount of volume in that push here to the upside, which you want to have as the wave 3, of course. And then long wave sideways 4. And now working on the last push to the upside into big resistance levels. So a diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be the option. We got not a significant resistance, but it's quite easy to manage risk on this trade. You got some lower highs, and you got 50% Fibonacci. Slightly above, you would have the point of control of the entire range. You're coming into major big volume here, right? This is, you either slice through this zone or you actually struggle and start reversing, right? It is the point of control from the entire range since June. So, this should be a major level, right? To break. And it's going to struggle to break, obviously, unless lots of buying pressure comes in. So, yeah, let's see if we do get one more push up here. It's something that I would prefer, because when I do take a look at the waves here, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense to finish wave 4 here. I mean, this did create a higher high right there. So a diagonal from this point is not valid, because if this were to be the diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we have a major invalidation here, which is wave 5, which is this one, being longer than wave 3, and that is not possible. So that's something that I'm not looking at the moment, right? If this were to be that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, you cannot have this as a ending diagonal. Why? Because your wave 5 is longer than your wave 3. So I know that I'm not looking at this. This is not possible. This is a not valid diagonal. It's not valid. So I need to understand that this correction, we did not form a triangle. That's a higher high right there. So this is some kind of a running flat or a sideways WXY. This is the lower time frames. It can be very confusing. But it's the next push to the upside from this range that you need to identify as the wave 5. And I like to short wave 5s, right? If we can identify the decreasing volume, the volume divergence to the upside, do we have resistance? Yes. So I know that this is not a valid count. So what would be the valid count is, yet again, moving that wave 4 here and looking for this to be the ending diagonal potential, where you do have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with that invalidation being the 1-to-1 extension of your third wave. Okay, so we don't want the price to go much lower from here, because there is the invalidation of this diagonal. Also, when we put the channel from 1, 3, and 2, so your invalidation here of this diagonal is right as so. The channel, that's invalidation of the diagonal here. So yeah, this does, and that's the invalidation right here for the wave 5. So this cannot reach this pivot. And this is looking very locally, so I know that's this is a hard invalidation. If we are looking for something to end here on this latest move to the upside from today, 50% Fibonacci, we got some lower highs for a nice SFP. We got a possible diagonal here to finish your wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got your impulse here, increasing volume. That makes sense. And now just finishing the choppiness, right, with decreasing volume here. So yeah, we got a possible trade setup here ready that I would want to take. Very likely on stream. Let me just get the exchange ready here for this intraday entry. That could be interesting. I like the confluence. It's not awesome, but some nice lower highs. And we also have the 50% Fibonacci from the overall move down, getting supported by the point of control, right? So you want resistance support, right, to maybe get into that trade, right? You want that resistance support to take that decision, right? Obviously combined with Elliott wave theory, that's what we do. Order flow can be checked here on this push to the upside. Preferably we do get a decent amount of longs with decreasing open interest. Let's see if that is going to be the case here. If we do get a nice volume spike with decreasing open interest, which could obviously help us with that, help me with the decision to take the short trade. Yeah, so that's a little bit of the plan. We are just about to move up from here to take out the highs again, and this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see here. This potential short trade, I need a target, right? I got an entry, I got a reaction from the SFP level. I've got the 50% Fibonacci from the overall move down of last week. I got an ABC potential, so everything is aligning. This is how we build up, right, the possible setup, right? You plan for something to make sense, and as you're building with the waves and the confluence, then you need to understand where is the trading setup. There we go. We're getting a push right now, so let's see if we do get a potential reaction here, and we do not blast through, and we form a bit of an SFP. Volume is increasing. We've got a bit of a spike with volume. I mean, this is what we wanted to see. Let's take a look here at CVD with potentially lots of shorts. Okay, so for the moment we're breaking. There's no rush to enter the trade. Okay, we're getting some volume coming in right now. I think I'm going to need the 5-minute. Nice decrease in open interest. So let's see if we reject from the SFP level here. Interesting spike in volume. No short yet for me. I'll let you know when I enter the short, okay? But it could be an entry. I would have maybe stop loss at the wave 5 invalidation. For me, the most important thing right now is get that rejection into from the SFP levels, right? I think we're hitting 50%. Yeah, let's say it's an aggressive short at the moment. An invalidation here would be more than valid. Yeah, this as the invalidation would be okay. This as the invalidation, which is 64,120. That's on the Bybit chart. That's if this is going to be the diagonal. That would be enough for the stop loss. So yeah, stop loss round about there. It is relatively tight. It is a tight stop loss, but this is a day trade entry. And this movement down, so it is valid for the short, in my opinion, guys. I've entered. We're at the 50% Fibonacci. We are above the highs, but with the open interest having decreased with positive delta, it does give a good chance for some trapped longs to be here. There's been longs entering here, coming into the 64k region. So positive delta, a significant positive delta with decreasing open interest, giving the valid short entry, at least for me, guys. Okay, with this diagonal possibility and this ABC, right? 1 2 3 4 5 ending diagonal. There is some resistance, 50% Fibonacci. We are coming into the point of control of the entire range, of course, here. So it is a valid entry, in my opinion, guys. Okay, it is a valid entry. Diagonal is possible. Ending diagonal looks good. Confluence is okay. Order flow looks good. Obviously, when you have a lot of volume kicking in, it's something that can be disturbing. But with the order flow, with decreasing open interest, I think it's very valid. So, I got an entry, I got a stop loss, which would be the diagonal invalidation here from the latest few hours. And a take profit zone would be, on the bullish case scenario, if this is going to be a wave 3, we do want the 0.236 Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high at least to be hit, which is not too far away. It's a movement of $400-500. Let's just treat this as a scalp. Let's just treat this as a potential scalp, because the bearish option would be ABC and potentially get a bigger move down between today and tomorrow. The bullish option, and let me just clean up the chart here 1 second a little bit so we can actually see what's going on. The bullish option would be an impulse to the upside. Yeah. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Then you form the wave 4 naturally, and then a wave 5. And of course, the bearish option would be the ABC, right? A, B, and C. And let's just put this in a circle as well. Wave 4, because the extension has been pretty large here, we could be going sideways in this zone for the next 24 hours. It just could happen, right? And if we do end up forming some kind of a corrective move, lots of overlap, we need to understand that we're probably forming something corrective, and we are forming a wave 4 here, then a wave 5. There is a bullish option, of course, naturally here, which would be 1 2 1 2 1 2, and now we're just getting ready to blast off, and we haven't even finished the impulse. So aware of this, aware of just popping out here. Really speculating on this option on the lower time frame based on the movement up that we've got today, right? This is trying to come to the conclusion, do we get to reject at this zone, at this little bit of confluence area, which is 50% Fibonacci, and these lower highs for that SFP, for this finish of this potential wave, right? do we get that finish here in this zone without hitting the invalidation if we were to form an ending diagonal. So for me, it is valid. We did not quite SFP successfully as of yet, but we could in the next 30 minutes, an hour, and then get that pullback. For me, it was already a valid entry here. Stop loss is just slightly at the 64.1, above 64.1k, which is the ending diagonal here locally. Invalidation, right? This one particularly. So yeah, let's see if we always need a reason for a trade. We're not SFPing as of yet. We're pushing up. So yeah, let's see if this does play out. Bullish option. Yeah, let me just create a folder here. For all of this. Right. Trading View is not playing ball with me here. Right, there we go. If we were to blast through, volume increasing was not that great to see because there is power coming in. Still very valid. $64,200, 460. Okay, where are we on yeah, on bluffing it is slightly higher, right? There's always between the exchanges, there's a little bit of difference, right? You could have a $50, $100 difference, and I'm just checking on the exchange here because now on bluffing we are at 64,060, and on Bybit we are at 63.99, right? Just to be aware that sometimes your invalidation, because you're using an exchange, can differ ever so slightly. So yeah, this is a little bit it right now on this movement up. The resistance is not huge. We do have the point of control slightly higher of this of the entire range, right? Oh no, wait, we got it right there, which is what we're trying to break through from at the moment. I mean, yeah, it depends what, how much price action you're getting here, but you literally have this big block of volume, and it is naturally, because we got below it, it is one of those areas where we can get a pullback. I like it. I like it for a pullback. I mean, we cannot, just because we are ranging throughout the last several weeks, right? This is a very big range, very small range, but big on timing. We could continue ranging basically, and a triangle here is very possible. Forming a triangle, it does look, somebody did mention this last week as well, and I have to say that a triangle could be on the formation. It does start to look like a potential triangle zone, right? And obviously, you know, throughout last week, you don't take into consideration too much of a triangle. But if you do form a higher low, and then, you know, a triangle here does start to look attractive, right? It starts to look attractive. And if we were to be forming a triangle here, this would bring a great long position, I believe, which is naturally going to take potentially another week, because you do need one more lower high. This could be a double zigzag, right? We just formed an ABC. So where you get a corrective move down, and then you form another zigzag. And then, you know, you form the triangle coming into next week, naturally, right? The next E point. I mean, this could still take another week easily here. There is the potential of a triangle. There is the possibility of that triangle here. And this would be a bullish triangle, because you're coming from an uptrend from the low, and you would expect the price to push to the upside later on. So we're getting that move up. This is possibly gonna be a stop. Let's see. I would not be interested in getting into a new short unless we get all the way up to the golden pocket. I'll just let the price move to the upside, and the next level that I would be interested in is the golden pocket with the SFP territory here. There's a bit of a gap of, you know, we've got the point of control, of course, which should provide that resistance. But yeah, I don't like, there's a bit of a empty space here, and I don't want to be getting into another trade setup. Okay, price is pushing. Still got a bit of room till we hit the invalidation of that diagonal. And the bullish case scenario would be just blasting out, in my opinion, right? Get that wave that wave 3, right? I don't like it too much. 1, 2, your second wave 1 is a bit longer, another wave 1 and 2 here, and now you just, you know, looking for that wave 3 increasing volume. It just blasts through all of the levels. I don't like it too much as a multiple 1, 2. Second wave 1 is longer than this one. Lots of resistance. It is going to take a lot of power and a lot of volume to, you know, get a $1,000 pump, in my opinion here, but who knows, right? It could happen. But looking at Elliott wave theory here on the lower time frame, for the moment, this does look relatively attractive. Right, let me go quickly through the comment section. I am not interested in longs up here. I'm not interested in longs. If I'm interested in any trade, it would be a short, naturally, with good risk management. And if I do get stopped out from this short, what I would be looking at is, yeah, the only zone that I would be interested in is, without a doubt, the golden pocket with these lower highs. That's me, guys, particularly. Okay, so yeah, let's see if we do reject down. Let me just quickly take a look at the session volume profile to take a look at previous day. Yeah, let's see how the, I mean, obviously a first TP based on the risk of a wave 1, 2, 3, and you just shallow sideways correction, because this could be an impulse that's not finished. You form a wave 4, so this trade has to be managed accordingly. Maybe if it does, make a 2-to-1 risk reward, and you're very choppy here, it would have to be a first TP at the 0236, as that is the first main level for a wave 4. Wave 4s are usually between 50% and the 0236, so it could be very, very shallow of a wave 4, so I'd have to think about taking profits already on this movement down of, give or take $400 or $500 if it does. And if stopped, then the only zone that I'm interested is this one. Only zone that I'm interested is here at the 64.4k level. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have stop loss above that range point of control. Yeah, apparently I only went in with a small amount here. So based on the exchange, depending on where the area is, it would make sense, right? That's the invalidation. Some exchanges might be different on the price action, guys. There is a $50 to $100 difference depending on what exchange you're using, okay? So anyway, yeah, that's basically it. If I do get stopped, the only level that I would be interested here locally, just trying to look for that live setup, guys, with you here. Only level of interest would be this zone, and if we do break out the point of control with high volume, I would be very, very skeptical, because we could be going to higher prices, right? Right, yeah, not much more here. We're just moving up ever so slightly into this resistance. I'm just checking the bluffing chart with the Bybit one. Yeah, Bybit has open interest going up on the push. Binance has a push down on the open interest with this push to the upside. So it's one of those zones where it can double, triple top choppy. Invalidation is the invalidation here. I cannot play around with this. So right, let's zoom out. I'll let you know if I get stopped, of course. And I had to put stop ever so slightly up, a bit higher, because it's getting closer on bluffing. So yeah, on bluffing it's around about 64, 230 with the diagonal potential here. Right, let's see. Does look like it wants to push just at that range point of control at the moment from June and July. So is it going to crack up? And it will be a red Monday day. Yeah, we are just about tapping into that point of control as we speak. Pretty steep move up. Let's see if it does want to reject from here, but overall we have broken the point, the resistance area, so it's probably going to be a stop. It's going to be a stop Monday. It looks like it's going to be a stop Monday, so we'll have to see. And if we do get another push, I think the only level that based on confluence, the only level that I would want to get into is these lower highs right there. So this is one for the journal. This is one that we put inside of the I love stop loss. Yeah, invalidation being hit. It just wants to go. For me, it was a very not a bad option trade based on the ABC potential, based on 50% Fibonacci, lower highs, ending diagonal. This was a longer range, but yeah, already hitting that invalidation of the diagonal here. So I am just about to get stopped. And yeah, next zone of interest, want to be a little bit cautious on this momentum based on the bullish case scenario here, which is, want to see how the short's doing from. Yeah, I mean, it did make sense to take some profits here of the short of last weekend, previous weekend. I mean, we are targeting the lows at 62.5 potentially, or maybe see this as a correction. We did get a decent pullback down. I mean, anybody that did get into that short trade from previous weekend, I think obviously, taking at least 50% and even 60 to 70% of that short made sense from the move down of last week. So yeah, if you don't take significant profits, right, as you're moving down from a short that we mentioned last week, this is going to be painful, right? When you're moving up and you haven't taken the profits, it is going to be pretty painful, because we're in such a range that we need to be aggressive with profit taking. All right, it's just we need to be aggressive because we have so many people that we are talking about. We're going to pump above 67k, which is the range highs. People are mentioning we're going to go down to 58k, and we are at that point here where we cannot ask, right? Because the range could continue. We could form a triangle here. We're going to go through the different Elliott wave scenarios at the moment here, guys, but we need a day trade, right? We needed a day trade. I remember getting into a short here, into a short here. I need to go through that to put it in the journal. And a short basically last weekend, right? Monday basically of last week was good for that double top. We need to take the profits because we don't know if it's going to be a correction then move up. Are we going to form a triangle and it just ranges up, ranges down? We are at one of those zones in Bitcoin at the moment where we still have a few scenarios, and if we are trading the range, we need to be aggressive with taking profit with these movements of $1,000, right? Give or take, maybe 1,500, because we need to be aggressive with the profit. So if you did get into the short, which the general idea was to get a decent pullback and maybe take out this low from last week, which we didn't. We had some local support here. We had the potential of a WXY double zigzag. So you want to really understand that, this might be coming to the end, right, of the move down, and we're going to get that reversal, which we are getting right just after the weekend. So you want to collect profits if you did, throughout the weekend or Friday, if you did manage to get into that short from this zone, right, which is the value area high. Yeah, value area high, getting the rejection last weekend, right, last Monday, obviously getting the double top. You want to keep them open, of course. I mean, I'm talking from myself, right? I want to collect a lot of the profits, and I want to leave a chunk open, understanding that, what if this is an expanding diagonal, and what if this is a wave 2, right? It's a good zone to be the high, a lower high, basically, right? It's a good area to be the lower high to then roll over. So leaving some open is obviously the game plan, right? Because I understand it can be a lower high. So yeah, this short trade on the verge. I did move stop ever so slightly above the invalidation, but we did hit the invalidation. But I gave it a little bit extra room, but it is likely going to get stopped out. I'm not going to move stop loss much further away. It's just because on Bluffin we do have a slight price difference compared to Bybit. So Bybit is $64,060 at the moment, and on Bluffin it's $64,125, which there's a $65 price difference here. Another way of looking at this, being open-minded, can we have a double zigzag? We technically can, but yeah, it wouldn't be too nice for this to get a bit more continuation. Would make sense to the upside, because yeah, it wouldn't fit nicely. A double zigzag would not fit nicely here as a zigzag up, zigzag to the upside, one ABC, correction in X, and another ABC here. Ooh, X did get a pullback, a significant pullback. I mean, it could, however, wave X is very, very small in time compared to wave W here, which obviously affects the probabilities. Yeah, very, very small wave X in time, not too symmetrical, but zigzag down, wave X, push up, correction. Yeah, this could still be a 5-wave move up, even though it's not a diagonal. We did not overlap. So it is still one of those, it's still a very, very possible rejection point. Let me just get this length of the wave. Yeah, it still could be a 5-wave move because we did not overlap with wave 4 here locally. So wave 1 wave 4 overlapping with wave 1 is the invalidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 cannot be the smallest wave. In this case, it is wave 1. So it could be valid as an extended 5th wave here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 was not invalidated. So, yeah, it's one of those areas. The thing is the confluence. We don't have insane confluence here, unfortunately. One of those risky trades, I have to say. And could be got rejected here early this morning ever so slightly. Yeah, the confluence that we have is literally the point of control, right? That's the, I mean, it is a very, very solid level, of course. The point of control of the entire range here. We're in between the 50% and the golden pocket. It's one of those areas about getting the rejection. Let me just go through the comment section and then we'll just dive in. I've just been focusing on this, guys, just because I saw the short potential, at least for me. If I do get a short potential, at least for me, and I have to say it's still valid. I did see the possibility of the diagonal. However, we did not overlap here with this pivot, so it's still a valid finished 5-wave move up. However, still a very, very valid wave 5 here for a wave 3 or C. Yeah, I did really thought we overlapped with this pivot. That's why I got the diagonal in, but we did not. So it could be a regular impulsive move up with the 5th wave being a little bit extended. Yeah, interesting. No, I haven't got stopped out, but I'm very, very likely going to get stopped. Very, very likely going to get stopped on this short trade. The idea was the ending diagonal gave it a bit more room here. It's still in my risk appetite zone. I'm not going to add to the position of obviously or do any of that nonsense. I think it is very, very possibly going to get stopped. The next level where I would be looking at is the golden pocket and these lower highs for the SFP, just because we have the confluence of the golden pocket. Not every pivot is great for an SFP, but I would argue discuss that these pivots look interesting as a SFP because we have the 61865 right Fibonacci right there. So yeah, that becomes an interesting SFP zone for me because of the 61865. So let's see. I mean, on the verge of getting stopped. We'll start off the week in the red, and we'll have to put this inside of the trading journal today for that stop loss. But for the moment, it's not. We need to put a few trades. Not that I have 50 trades, guys, between July and August. I have mainly about 10 trades, so there's only a few trades here to add to the journal from July and August, and from now forward, just so you see the journal, right? The stop loss, today's stop loss, potential stop loss, that is. But it's just a very interesting ABC here, potential, right? There's that ABC possibility, which if we are going to be forming, there's two scenarios for this. If this is an impulsive move down, which you can count as an impulse, we would have the possibility already of this being something finished, this area to be finished as a wave B or a wave 2. if this is an impulse, right, for that lower high, 1 2 1 2, boom, move down, right? Point of control of June, July, part of August, right? One of those is one of those areas, right, that you're like, yeah, I'm already positioned in short from last weekend, basically, right? Monday, if you do to get a good entry on the double top. So if I do get stopped out, and the price does not hit my next entry level, I don't have another local short here. I would personally wouldn't have another local short if we do not reach. So if it were to reject here, then I would just have to hold on and onto that short that was taken last week, which is still very valid to hold on to. Still valid because there is the chance of a double 1-2 here with the expanding diagonal being wave 1. I mean, I know it doesn't look, it's not awesome to have an expanding diagonal here as a wave 1 as we followed up, right? It's not awesome. It's not great because expanding diagonals are actually pretty rare. You don't see them very often, and obviously that's, it's concerning, right? This does not hold for me the highest probability and the most bearish case to be a wave 1 in an expanding diagonal, and this naturally would be another wave 1, right? That being your wave 2 here, and this being wave 1, and it looking for another wave 2 with this push to the upside, which the best case scenario for the bears would be ABC and then boom 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 boom, right? We already moving down for another 1 2 and then 3, for example, right? We just ended up in the next week forming that wave 3. There's the potential for this, right? There is the potential for this to be wave 2, a lower high, 50% golden pocket. You're hitting the point of control, which is currently back testing at the moment, right? So I mean, the resistance is there. We failed to break out the value area high, and we are currently trading at the point of control. So value area high got resistance, and now point of control is being tested. It's one of those possibilities, right? It's one of those that you realize that this could happen. You could form a lower high. So if I'm in a short position from this zone of last week, the previous weekend or Monday, I want to maintain some of that short. It just does. It makes sense that there is the chance of rolling over. Going to lower prices, right? If you were to ask me, is there a chance of rolling over? And I would say, obviously, yeah, there is. There is with this expanding diagonal wave 1, which is not great. It is actually rare. But just because it's rare, we cannot forget about it, right? And this is the thing. Even though the probabilities are lower, you can't just say, right, there's no bearish option. There is. Of course, there is a bearish option, which would be this one, of course. So, yeah. Other options. What other options do we have? Yeah, I mean, what's most relevant at the moment here? What is most relevant at the moment is that we have, for the moment, we do have a 3-wave move. It's a 3-waver for the moment. What we have. That's what I do understand. We can map the situation here as, a couple of different options. Which, could we still be developing the wave 3, where you have 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then this just rockets, right? You need a pretty powerful wave 3 if you have multiple 1 2s. Or do you have the ABC, which your B wave is a flat, and you're having this wave C to come to the finishes at this moment, right? a pretty extended wave C, we would arguably discuss, as hitting the 2-to-1 extension. It would be a pretty expanding wave C, but or the other option for a three-wave structure would be that WXY, where because you did hit those highs, I mean, this would be the last option in my opinion as probabilities, just because wave X is very, very quick. But you did take out this high, so you do have a boom, 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 right? You do have a three-wave move. You do take out the previous highs, so that can be a zigzag. This could be the correction, and this push up sideways and push up could be that ABC. So zigzag right there, and the zigzag right over here. Or just the ABC, right? A three-wave move is what is being seen here on the charts as we speak, right? If this is going to be a multiple 1 2 1 2 1 2 and 3, we just need that 3 to extend in the coming hours, really, then to form the 4 5 later on. Unless you're finishing your wave 3 here and we go sideways between today and tomorrow and we decide to form the wave 5, you know, by tomorrow, let's say. It's one of those areas which is, it's not an awesome short. The confluence is not great based on the local price action that we had. However, the big confluence that we have is the point of control of June, July, August. So, I mean, yeah, obviously the confluence is massive because it's the point of control of June, July, and August. However, when you go locally, it's a little bit of no man's land. You're above the 50% Fibonacci. You're not hitting the golden pocket from the high to the low. There's no major order blocks. There's no major naked local point of control. So locally, from the price action of last week, it is not much as resistance really where we at. Only the higher time frame big resistance, which of course is very, very important, which is that big point of control, right? Which we just tapped right now and getting the reaction. So range point of control 2 bounced from successfully. Will the range point of control, the real one, right, get rejected here? And obviously, you know, we just need to understand it's a higher time frame confluence of resistance. But based on local resistance, as do we have an hour order block here, or do we have a naked point of control from this price action? We don't, right? It's a very quick, fast moving up. We're not getting any incredible Fibonacci confluence. We're in between the 50% and the golden pocket. And based on extension, well, yeah, we got the 2-to-1 extension from this ABC potential. It is a bit an expanding Z wave. It is pretty punchy. So 2-to-1. I know Devil does like these extensions to pull the trigger very, very much. So yeah, it is mainly the point of control of June, July, August where we are getting a reaction at the moment. So, you know, it's valid for me. It's valid as well for the short, as explained. Not stopped out. I did move stop loss ever so slightly, as explained, to the upside. Understanding not only the difference of price action from the exchanges, but understanding that maybe, you know, based on this movement, wave 4 was not overlapping wave 1. If this has to be the wave 5, right? So if this move up locally has a double 1 2, okay, for the 3 4 5 4 5, right, to finish that third wave, right? So you're finishing this as the wave 3, 1 2 3, the 4, Triangle is not possible here because you moved above the level. Oh yeah, you're thinking of a triangle wave 4 to finish here, but that is not possible based on the push up above this high. So yeah, it makes sense for the wave 4 to be here, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it does have a chance. You got a big resistance, which is the range point of control of June and July. So it's what it is, resistance. Right, let's go through the comment section. Shout out to Devil, of course, today with the keeping the community updated with the local scenarios set up. Shout out to Devil. I'm not sure if he's on the in the stream here today, but if you are interested in joining the community, where if we're not on YouTube, you know that we are consistently updating the community. That is either Devil or is myself. I'm heavy short. Who's heavy short? Yeah, still in that short. I mean, it's likely gonna. It could probably get stopped. I mean, we have reasons for this to reject at this zone. There's reasons for this to reject. The diagonal. I don't know why I looked at the diagonal here. Really, it did, because it does look like that you overlap here, right? When you are thinking about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes we need to zoom in and say, right, we did not overlap here. So that is a very, very valid wave 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bit of an extended fifth wave here. Order flow is telling me we got open interest decreasing on the move down. That's not great for the bears. But with the push up that we had here just about an hour ago at the beginning of the stream, we had a major wick on the open interest. So open interest did go down on very, very positive delta. Slightly continuing up, but it gives you a possibility of rejection. These can be trapped longs. Longs getting trapped here, thinking that we are going to go to higher prices and then getting a move down in the next coming hours, of course, right? Right, I think we need to talk about a few Elliott wave options, guys. Are you ready for a few Elliott wave options? Sorry about that. I've been focusing just here on this very, very local range just because I thought it was interesting, considering this three-wave move up, right? We like to detect possible three-wave ABCs, understanding that, yeah, maybe this is this range is just a little bit of it can get people very, very confused. Always on the streams we're like 67K is going to be next, bears are going to be screaming for 58, and it's just a range, and we need to understand that we want to trade the range. We're looking for movements really locally here of $500 to $1,000 maybe. I can't ask for $4,000-$5,000 trades. Basically $4,000-$6,000 movements, right? Because it's been like that for a few weeks at the moment, and we could be developing a triangle in this zone, right? It can be a triangle, which obviously would be bullish, because a triangle being formed after coming from an uptrend, despite this being a three-wave structure, we could be looking at this to be W and an ABC, and then A, B, C, D, E, and a triangle here, to then just push up in a zigzag later on, right? That's wave X, and then wave Y. We got the bearish option expanding diagonal down. So I mean, this could still be rangy for the next several days. Move up, move down, then move up, and it's just a bit of a pain, guys, because it's just a very confusing. That's why we can't ask still for a major big move down. The bearish option in this case, based on the short entry that was mentioned mainly on YouTube on a video update that I did give here on the previous Saturday, I am still remaining in that short, of course, with a significant chunk, because I have to obviously understand that, what if the bearish option does play out here, which is the expanding diagonal. This ends up being an ABC, and this ends up being that diagonal, expanding diagonal to the downside in a wave 1. In the most bearish case, least bearish case would be a wave A, which is looking to claim those lows. And obviously this being wave 2 or wave B, right? If that is the case, there is a chance of an impulse down here. There is a chance of a 3-wave correction into the point of control of the entire range. So I want to remain partially in that short, obviously with profits taken. Okay, with profits taken from that short of last week. But I want to hold a chunk, of course, just in case this bearish option does play out. We form a lower high, and then we roll over, right, to claim the lows at least, and then we'll follow up on the scenarios later on. So yeah, it is one of those zones in Bitcoin where it is not 100% clear, right? It's never 100% clear when we talk about setups and trading on Bitcoin. Congratulations, whoever longed on Friday. An okay support. We understood that we could get that bounce. Let me just go quickly through this price action, because there is that chance of this being an impulsive move down where we have a wave 1, wave 2. It's not the greatest looking one, I have to say, but because of the choppiness that we got here on this downtrend, we can either look at this movement to the downside as an impulse or a WXY double zigzag. Just because there's overlap here, you can fit a double 1-2. Let me just get here the movement as well. A, B, C, D, E, 4 and 5, where you have that running triangle here. Cheeky running triangle. Yeah, I mean this A, B, C, D, E for your wave 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the impulse, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got wave 3 with a very long triangle. Very messy. It is messy a bit. You've got an extreme long wave 4 compared to your wave 2, but it is a valid count, which obviously gives the option of this movement down being impulsive. And obviously with that option, you do have a lower high option, right? There is a lower high option here, having this impulse, potential impulse count. Something that you want to be aware of, right? You're kind of aware of this, and we are at resistance. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. So yeah, we are at a rejection point, guys. It's the point of control of this entire range. We do have the a 3-wave move up with the local counts. We do have a possibility of forming the latest 4-5 on this latest move up, which is very locally that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is that chance of having a 5-wave move up here. coming to the last little push, right, before it rejects. So it is one of those waves that could be finishing locally, right, very locally, right, despite getting a very shallow pullback and then pushing up maybe. That's the thing, right? We're gonna have to see how this corrects, or if it does reject very strongly, because as explained, is this a wave, is this an ABC to get a larger move down, maybe impulsive, or a wave X, right? This could be wave W, wave X, we get another push in the next couple of days. Right, or is it going to go sideways for a long wave 4, very, very shallow, then it looks corrective, lots of overlap, we look for that next push up in wave 5. But it's in one of those areas where a pullback does look interesting, because it's the point of control from June, July, and August, right? We can't say any more than that. Okay. SFP is cooked. Volume just went through the roof. We got a bit of a volume spike here on the latest push to the upside, but nothing too crazy. I do see it as a rejection point here. It is definitely a rejection zone. The only trades that I am in currently is that short attempt here locally. The swing long from July is still open. I'm putting all of this journal together, guys, from trade setups that we mentioned on YouTube, or we mention inside of the trading community, and put them all together just so you can see basically how each month does evolve, guys. And I think this is super important, and we're going to go through the journal every single day, be it on YouTube or be it in the trading community. And I still need to finish this journal, of course, get all of the trade setups. Today's setup will get in this journal, and just so you see the process of stop losses, of profits, and how you can actually, how we benefit from trading. Basically, myself, Devalt, right? We do know how to manage risk very, very well, and stop losses is part of the journey, but it's all about you understanding the profit, okay? How you can pay off the stop losses when you do manage risk, when you do get into the good trade, okay? So yeah, for the moment in that swing long, still in the that was mentioned inside of the trading community, guys. This was at the end of June, coming into the first week of July to execute that trade, and now this only this local short from the live stream, of course, right? Last week trade setup as well, mentioned mainly on YouTube, okay, because this was a short setup from a video update. This is still very much active. Significant profits have been taken, but it is worth holding for me, this short position still. But I would say over 70% of the profits have been taken on this short trade. And the scalping, right, from previous stream, it was a bit of a bumpy long session here on the stream last Tuesday, but this ended up being a good trade, right? It did end up being a pretty good trade, with some good profits here. A couple of stop losses, the long entry. So, but it ended up being a good trade last Tuesday. So yeah, let's see if we do end up rejecting here. Just be aware that we have a few options. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 option, right? You could form a triangle, you could form a zigzag. Your invalidation for the fourth wave here would be the golden pocket from wherever the high is finished, which is obviously the highs of wave 1. You don't want that golden pocket to be hit as a wave 4. You want a shallow pullback into the 0236, 0382 zone. This could be interesting tomorrow. I would say tomorrow, because a wave 4 here is going to going to take some time to develop, and this would bring a good short setup for me to take. I would be happy to get into this short setup. If we do form a wave 4 price looking structure in the next 24 hours, I would be getting out of my short trade and getting ready for a short trade. This would likely be tomorrow at some point for the SFP of these highs and the golden pocket touch from the highs to the lows. I mean, this would be a very, very good short setup for tomorrow. Obviously, we need that wave 4, so we need a corrective shallow range, right, for the next 24 hours. Well, not 24, it can be 12, or we just need a 3-wave looking structure for the next coming hours between today and tomorrow. But this, if we do end up pushing to the upside after this shallow flag correction, this is going to be a great short. That's if we do not push up from here. If we do continue pushing up, then it's still an SFP zone because we have the golden pocket. But it would be a better short if we have a wave 4 formation, because you know that after a 5-wave move up, you are looking for that pullback, which is the common target, is getting beneath the lows or into the zone of the lows of the wave 4, which could be a move of, you know, maybe $1,000 or so. That would be a very interesting short tomorrow, which, Devil's going to do a long stream at some point. I might do a video update at some point as well. But if we do get this set up, and I'm not on YouTube, obviously the trading community will know in advance. Okay, the trading community will know in advance if I'm not on YouTube, guys. So if you are interested in knowing exactly how I'm going to enter the position, where's my stop loss, you know what I'm targeting, you know where to find us. It's the first link down below in the description. We try and do as much YouTube as we can. Okay, we try and do as much YouTube as we can, guys. But if we don't do YouTube, we do the trading community. Okay, and obviously Devil today, we do switch days. Lots of people do like Devil. Devil's been on the trading community today. I'll be on the trading community tomorrow. Fees covered. Yeah, you know where to find us, guys. Send me the word access if you want to join the trading community. We've got tutorials there. We do update every single day. You got the links down below to sign up with the greatest bonuses and, you know, join the trading community and get access to all of these great tools, CBD, order flow, and many different other ones. Okay, so yeah, let's see ABC potential here, ABC potential, or a wave 3 potential, right? That's what we do not know. I think the most bullish option is pretty obvious. It would be a 1 2 1 2 1 2, and you know, it just end up breaking out here very aggressively. So we don't want to be I don't want to be the kind of trader that I'm, 100% confident that we're going to get a rejection here. I want to manage risk. I want to understand my next level of interest. If we pull back from here, great. If we do not and blast through, I want to be out of the market. And if we do move up, my next level of interest, as explained, would be 64.3k, which is the golden pocket and the lower highs for the SFP. Okay, I'm not going to go crazy here with adding to shorts and stuff like that. If we end up breaking out, I need to acknowledge that, we are developing an impulse still, right? With multiple 1 2s, 1 2 1 2 1 2, and wave 3 is developing still, right? You just get that punchy breakout of $1,000 in the next coming hours. So I want to be careful, understand the levels, understand your trading plan, and be careful with adding to shorts or adding to longs and stuff like that. Okay, when price is going against you, Have your plans, guys. Very, very important. I have my plans. If we reject from here, great. If I get stopped out, my next level is this one. I would be cautious if we get up there in the next couple of hours with no pullback, because I understand that we could still be forming a wave 3 here, right? That would mean that, you know, maybe this is really forming an insane impulse. That's your wave 3 getting developed still, because you do have 1-2s, 1-2s, 1-2s here. So yeah, what will be interesting is if you do get that pullback between today and tomorrow, right, in this region, bounce at the 0236, 0382 zone, right, regardless if it comes slightly lower or not, and then get the push to the upside, then it's going to be a very, very interesting short for me to take as a day trade, and potentially look for longs throughout this week on the pullback, right? Because if we do get a proven corrective structure, then longs are going to be looking very, very interesting to take at some point. But still, regardless, the short for the pullback is going to be interesting, and that's gonna, you know, we need the wave 4. I need a rangy structure, shallow correction, which I'm not particularly interested in longing. I would be more interested in shorting the wave 5, which I do have a confluence area at the golden pocket from the highs of the range, right, to the lows. And this could be a very, very good short position, which would be by tomorrow at some point, of course, right? We need the correction in wave 4. If we blast through, I understand that we could be developing still the wave 3. It's just something that you need to come to the conclusion. If this just continues up throughout today, we need to understand that wave 3 could be still on the formation, where you have 1-2, a 1-2, 1-2, boom, you know, your volume increases, you're breaking out, wave 4-5, 4-5, you create that wave 3, then you get the wave 4, which is going to be interesting for wave 4 to bounce at the point of control of the range of June, July, and August. You know, by obviously this is going to take a few more days, potentially Wednesday or so, or Thursday, if we do end up pushing higher. Could be an interesting long, just because we have the point of control to back test as the wave 4. Yeah, we will have to see. We're just being aware that this could still be the wave 3 extension, right? 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, boom, 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 volume increasing. So yeah, if you're shorting here, you don't want to go too crazy with stop loss, in my opinion. And the next potential rejection point is, for me, crystal clear. It is that golden pocket with the lower highs. You know, that's the only zone that I would attempt in the next coming hours. Okay. Still looking for that wave 3 or ABC potential. I mean, it would be a bit of an extended C wave, I have to say. It would be a little bit extended for an ABC. So if you do get up here for a wave 3, it would be looking more interesting for a wave. Yeah, for a wave 3 basically. It is rare to have such an extended C wave. So yeah, we'll be checking that in the next coming days. Let's go right away through the comment section. Yeah, we need to be aware that we could be developing a wave 3 here. Still to the upside. Let's do a bit of comment section. Mr. Joan Legend, much love. Hello, Andy and Legends. Joan, how are you doing? Much love. I appreciate your TA, fam. Thank you so much, Ilrich. You stick to the price action. Don't look at the comment section today. It looks like we're getting a bot attack. Rick, I'm still in Andy's short from 67.1k and day trading the way down. Also long from 57, 0.9k. That's from Bath Maria. So all my positions in between are scalping for me. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have much trades. I think I have in between 10 and 15 trades, but not more than 20 since July the 1st. You know, I'm more of a swing trader. I like to get into a trade and hold to a position significantly, right? Such as the short from last week, right? That we mentioned on YouTube, right? So, you know, you do see the risk to reward is greater when we have these projections, right? 65k zone was such an interesting area last week to short, right? Regardless, Sunday or Monday. And depending on your stop loss, depending on if you catch the double top on Monday, right? Everybody enters the position differently and manages the trade differently. But, you know, you could have shorted anywhere, really, you know, last Saturday, Sunday, or even last week, Monday, to get into this short position. Just we had a very, very clear view that, you know, something is coming to an end here. It just gets choppy. It gets, you know, do we get a double top or a triple top? Maybe a diagonal, maybe a WXY double zigzag up. You know, we had a few options that something would finish. You just don't know quite well which one it's going to be. That's why sometimes you want to give a bit of a breather on the stop loss. Add to the position if you're feeling confident, but always managing risk and taking, you know, profits from that short trading idea. And obviously the swing long from July. The swing long from July is basically been my main July profits. You guys know this, right? Especially this setup was mentioned, but when we go in between, I haven't taken a huge amount of trades, right? I think maybe about 15 trades max from the 1st of July, which I'm journaling, of course, right? I'm putting all of that in the journal, which will be fully loaded by tomorrow. And we want to follow up every trade just so you can see the stop losses, just so you can see the profitable trades. And you see the risk management, right? Not many trades have been taken. Not many trades have been taken in this zone. I would say, you know, about 15 max. Little day trade scalp in there, right? In these zones, I just need to go through the exchanges and put in all the trades, counting the stop losses, of course, right? And from now on, you know, just so people in the trading community and on YouTube just see the journal, just see the trade setups, how we hold them, how I maintain them, how much profit I'm taking, right? Who's this from? Much love to you. Anyway, you got deleted. We got some NPCs, someone said, on the stream today. That will trend trade. Hello, Andy. Do you think taking the 65.5k high is a higher probability than taking out the 62.2k low? These are the kind of questions that I want to see. This chop zone is definitely getting old quick, need more volume. Yeah, it is a very, very disturbing area of choppiness. I mean, on Friday, I did not take this long. I know Bathmani, did take this long because she did comment on it. She said, I took the long at 62.6 and, taking a bit of profits and protecting. We did have that bouncing area, which was the second point of control from June and July. That one did get the bounce, right? We have two big high volume nodes from June and July. We got this one and this one, which we're currently at the moment, right? So we got this one right there, and we got this one right over here, and we ended up bouncing on Friday at that level. So we this is with no doubt it is a rejection point. We did bounce on Friday from the second point of control. Will we reject today from this point of control of the entire range, guys? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? I think it's a it is a valid shorting zone. I shorted based on the diagonal, but I could have shorted really the exact tap into the point of control, which is always an option. Shorting the exact tap at the point of control for me is always a valid option, right? When we do go in the lower time frame, it just gives you a very, very sweet entry. Give or take a bit of room for stop just in case it creates a cheeky double top. But same as on Friday, you did create a little cheeky double triple bottom, right? Very, very cheeky, but not a bad option longing zone, right? A bit of room obviously for your stop. A little bit of room. You can never put stops glued to your entry, because you might get wicked out. This could be an interesting double top level because it is the point of control from June, July, and August, right? It is one of those areas where you can get like that double top, unless you break out, guys. So we want to be so aware of the bullish option, which is creating an impulse. So aware here. Bit of volume increasing, got a decent spike in volume here, and the bullish option is 1 2 bang bang bang, another 1 2 here, bang bang bang, and another 1 2 3 boom boom boom, right? You just form that impulsive move to the upside, and you're still busy with wave 3 at the moment. Something that you're just very, very aware of, very, very aware of this, where because the movement is going a little bit parabolic with increasing volume, you just if we break that point of control from June, July, and August, we could pump out easily $1,000 today. We could get an extra pump of $1,000 to the upside, give or take, right? Maybe 800 or so, or 1,200, right? Depending on how ferocious it's going to be. But yeah, still developing the impulse here could be an option. That's why you want to have these levels as a guideline, right? The point of control from June, July, and August is a level that must be respected. If this is going to be an ABC, or this is going to be a 1 2 3, you form your fourth wave here, and then you get the fifth wave up. It's a zone where you want it to be respected, and if it's not, then you understand that I understand that this wave 3 is still developing, right? You've got a bunch of 1-2s being on the formation. Price action is going a bit parabolic. So you always have these levels as a guideline saying, that's where you manage risk, right? This is where I manage risk. Because if this is broken, I don't know how high it can go, right? If it is going to be an explosive high volume break, One other level that could be interesting is that 1 hour order block here with the lower highs, right? It is an SFP potential zone. But yeah, I would be extremely cautious as well based on the wave 3 breakout. So yeah, guideline level. This is where you manage risk. That's where your risk management is in place here for the rejection. At least for me, anyway, guys. I'm just talking about what is good for me. Obviously, when we talk about risk management. Right, let's go through comment section. Let me just get a drink of water, guys, and I'll be back in less than a minute. Okay, give us a minute right there. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. Let's see if this is going to get stopped or not. Let's see. For the moment, just really not much volatility here. It is a very, very possible stop. I would take into consideration a double top here. This is going to go in the journal, okay? Every trade from now on is going to go into the journal. Just so you see the stop losses and the profits, right? And you can actually see the difference. Let's get to 150 likes and I'll go through the comment section. Let me just stretch my legs here and I'll see you in a... Right, comment section time. Casper Network. I haven't checked that in a long time. Casper Network is it like getting a bit of a recovery throughout the last month? Okay. Casper Network is up 200% from last 30 days. I remember this there was a lot of hype behind this project. Is it time to start looking for altcoins, guys, in this bear market or not yet? Let me know in the comment section, what do you think, or we just stick to trading? Because yeah, I've made more trading than actually any profits from altcoins, guys, in the bull run. I have to be honest here, right? I haven't made hardly any. I've actually made more losses when we talk about altcoins compared to trading Bitcoin. Yeah, there's no altcoin that I've made significant profits. There is just not one single one. So trading Bitcoin has played better for me in the last couple of years. Oh man, altcoins. Yeah, I think we all got wrecked with altcoins, guys. We cannot lie, right? We cannot lie on that. Except Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum. I've made profits on Ethereum, but just because Ethereum, I mean, I did sell. This was live on YouTube. I did sell a significant chunk of my Ethereum portfolio here, and most of the Ethereum have been bought. I mean, at least mine. Okay, in this zone. I think potentially bought here a little bit of Ethereum in this dip. However, yeah, a little bit in break-even stage. It made a slight profit on Ethereum, but yeah, Ethereum, I think I sold about 25. I need to check the portfolio, but this was live on YouTube, where I basically said on YouTube live that I'm selling because it just reached an all-time high, and that was the game plan on Ethereum, right? To once we hit all-time high, I'm selling 25% of my Ethereum on spot. And yeah, I wish I would have sold more, really. But still, I'm glad that I at least sold something, and I said that vocally on YouTube. But yeah, it's basically one of the only ones I think got crushed on a few altcoins, guys, and you know that there's nothing to hide. But you know that altcoins is very, very small amount of the portfolio. When you play with funny crypto investments, magic money, right? You need to be aware that you can lose a significant chunk, right? Based on the disclaimer always that we give on YouTube, right? Crypto space, I mainly like Bitcoin trading. That's where I can ride the bear market much better, just trading Bitcoin instead of buying altcoins, because oh man, it didn't play out well this cycle. It did the previous one. I made significant profits on altcoins on the previous cycle, but not on this one. It's just Ethereum, Chainlink's at break even. Anyway, you know the story if you've been following long enough, guys. It hasn't been a good crypto altcoin bull market. We do have CBM here somewhere. Shout out to you, my man. It's a trap manipulation. Shout out to Crypto by Mattia. Much love to you, my man. It is manipulation indeed. Good old days, Umbrella. Yeah, exactly. Good old days. I got destroyed on Umbrella. I had about 1% of my portfolio inside of Umbrella. As always, very, very skeptical about talking about this on YouTube, saying, guys, this is really high risk. There is the risk of losing all, and this is why it's a small percentage. This either does a 50x or it goes to zero, right? So, and when you risk in my case, $10,000 approximately into something that could turn into $500,000 or lose the $10,000, right? It's like, yeah, I don't want to play around too much, because basically that went down the toilet, and this is why the percentage is very, very small when you put these I put money inside of these altcoins, right? You always want to find that very low cap coin that has the potential of growing, and we know that 95% of altcoins have basically got destroyed, right? But yeah, ICP, yeah, I did manage to scale out ICP. The ICP was the latest altcoin. After ICP, I did not talk about any altcoin. Literally, it was the last altcoin that I kind of invested in the bull run in 2025, the latest stage of the bull run. It was the last altcoin. You know this if you've been following the channel long enough. And this was a zone where I accumulated a significant chunk of ICP, believing that this would be, the bottom, right? Get a spring point. Who remembers, right? And then we got the massive capitulation in October. I didn't sell anything. And guys, I'm in the red on ICP. I'm not selling here. Awesome SFP, by the way. We got an instant reaction bounce. And on this bounce is where I got out at break even, basically. I took profits and I left a free bag of ICP, which is down the toilet again, right? But at least I protected taking my initial investment out, which was mentioned on the move up here on a live stream. It was like, guys, I'm getting out on most of the positions so I can be break even. It's all journaled on YouTube. If you go to I will look for that live stream around about the first week of November, where we got that quick recovery bounce. Price of ICP did a quick 400% up in November, which I managed to get out. So yeah, ICP was one of them that was, I got saved by that one, because if I would have held, I would be down, significantly, over 50% on that. But anyway, just interesting stories on crypto, basically, right? Chainlink is break even. Chainlink has been one that, Chainlink, Chainlink's getting a little bit of a move up here, but most of the Chainlink, we had so much time to accumulate Chainlink here. And yeah, it's devastating to see significant profits come down to break even price. But yeah, still break even on Chainlink, in slight profit. But yeah, Andy, Chainlink to $50. Yeah. Are you still holding VeChain? I still have some VeChain, yeah, from the previous cycle, not from this cycle, not from this bull run, from the previous bull run. Still holding a bit. That's kind of there in the dust, just because I know it's not insane profits. What do you think about ADA? ADA, well, you know, ADA, we do know that these top blockchain projects, you know, will they have a future? Will they have a future? That's the main question, right? AVAX, Avalanche, ADA, you name it, right? Casper Network, obviously with their own blockchain. Tron. There's many of them, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is, you know, there's so many of them, right? There's so many of them, as CBM says here, Mattia. You know, altcoins, right? You know, I've lost interest very, very much on altcoins, except for Chainlink. You know, I'm still holding the Chainlink. I'm going to give that one a chance for the next bull run. But yeah, mainly trading Bitcoin, right? We can do it. I can do it safely. I can manage risk very, very well on the positions. You know, we try and obviously be transparent on YouTube, in the trading community. Stop losses will be hit, but stop losses are there to share and to make you understand that, you know, we can take these hits. You know, taking these hits is good, right? Because we know that good projections will come, right? Hi, Andy, you didn't answer my question. Do you think taking out... sorry, my bad. Yeah, let's go through that. 65.5 high is higher probability. Then taking out 62.2k low. Let's go through that right away. Let's get the levels out and let's go mainly on Elliott wave theory, because that's what's going to give me your answer, basically. What's the higher probability? Taking out 65.5. Which is right over here. These highs, basically. Or 62.2. I would... we got a few options here. Main option, I would say, is forming a triangle. Either having something finished here or forming a triangle. Right? Forming a triangle here is very, very real at this moment, because it is forming a lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, right? Having a triangle formation here for the next coming days is very, very real. And if the triangle does complete, we do need a corrective move down after this push to the upside that we're getting. Then this is something that will look very, very high probability to take out 65.5. We need a bit more information, which is forming a lower high here at some stage. Might be today, this evening, or tomorrow morning. And if we do identify a very, very corrective structure, then there'll be high probability in taking out 65.5k. But we need this information, right? With the current information that we have, what would I say? Taking out this high or this low has higher probability. I have to say that taking out 62.2 with current information. Why is that? We do have two bearish options. One is the expanding diagonal, which is not the highest probability, I have to say, but it is there. Expanding diagonal down, which has the option for a wave 1 or a wave A, as you do know here. Corrective move up in either wave 2 or B, which it still can be something that's developing here. You might form a triangle right there. So it's basically taking out this low at some point. You can count this move down as an impulse, so a lower high is very much on the cards. And then the other bearish option is that WXY, which we still have available, right? This has been my main favorite scenario for the last almost 2 weeks, we would say right now. This push up, very aware of rejecting, right? The whole idea of rejecting this zone was also taken into consideration that we could see this as a WXY double zigzag, this push to the upside, or an impulsive move up to finish an ABC flat, which was the idea from the video created the previous weekend, right? And several ways to trade this. We had a double top, or you could enter a trade, give a bit of room for stop loss, right? Risk to reward obviously decreases if you give a stop loss a bit of room, but this is for people that, you know, such as myself, if we're going to bed or something, right? I don't want to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to catch the double top, right? But this impulsive move to the upside explained on this video on the previous Saturday was mainly this scenario here, which is still valid. It is still definitely valid. What is happening here is that, you know, it's just taking a bit of time, of course, right? We just extend this to a little bit slightly more to the right, and this could basically form as so. Double zigzag to the downside, very, very much still on the cards. This can be counted as an impulse, which automatically means that this could be a wave A. We're forming wave B, and then we have the wave C. Sorry about this. Let's just turn that into a minor right there. So yeah, this is still very much on the cards. Based on the information, right? We haven't got a finished impulse here. If we get a finished impulsive move and a corrective structure, that would have to be by tomorrow, guys, right? If we do end up correcting here, shallow correction, and then have a wave 5, boom, rejection, and this proves itself to be corrective, I will have to lean on the possibility of taking out the highs here. Okay, so because it's such a choppy, confusing range for the last few weeks, the probabilities change consistently, and this is what happens in ranges, right? It's just that it is what it is. We are traders. We need to adapt to the information that is given on the chart. So because we don't have an impulse locally yet, it's very much a 3-wave move. I have to lean on this scenario, you know, with the information that we got, combining the different structures. We got the bearish option, expanding diagonal, 1 2 1 2 down, or wave A, right? Wave B, 1 2 3 4 5 to form the ABC, larger ABC, or this scenario right over here, which is the WXY double zigzag, where you have a zigzag down in W, ABC in a flat for wave X, and now the impulse in wave A, correction in wave B, and then the move down, of course, in the impulse to finish wave C, which would finish the overall last zigzag of wave Y, which is still a very good optional great long trade setup at the valley area low here, right? I mean, this is going to take a few days. If this is the scenario that's going to play out, it's the zone that I'm really interested in longs here at this 61k area. But we need to see how we get down there, you know, identify the 5th wave, right? Getting decreasing volume. If we do get high volume spike on the move down, you know, we will identify this, of course, but it's just going to take a few days. So I need to lean on the scenario that taking out 62.2k at the moment with the current information has higher probability. But because we are in a very rangy structure, you know, things can change. We do have the option of the triangle, right? As well here, as explained, A, B, C, D, E. Maybe we do form a corrective-y looking move in the next 1 to 2 days, which naturally would bring that push up to these highs at 65k. So it depends on the movement down here. Will it be looking corrective and overlapping, right? For the moment, it is taking out 62.2k because we have the bearish options, of course, as explained, and we don't have an impulse as of yet, right, to the upside. So that's leaning on moving down, forming a lower high from 65.5. I hope that did help on the explanation right there. Matthew in the chat, CBM, yes sir. Make sure to go and check out his channel if you haven't already. Good if you are constipated. I was 14th till I went on holiday. But so good. Yeah, there is that trading competition going on. Yeah, let me just get. Yeah, make sure if you want to join the 2-bit competition, guys. Let me just get that for you. Well, yeah, there is that 2-bit trading competition. I can see a few of you already talking about the competition. Which is going to be in the pinned comment, guys. Anybody that is interested in the 2-bit trading competition, it is in the pinned comment, okay? If you want to join. Let me just refresh this. No. Yeah. Yeah, anybody that is interested in joining the trading competition on 2-bit, you have the link in the pinned comment, okay guys? Far from trading competition, amigo. Mi amigo. Corey, much love. Donald J. Trump is going to cause some volatility. Andy, I do not like 2-bit. Can I just switch to another one? Absolutely, of course you can. We've got many different exchanges which you do get great deals and bonuses, fee discounts, okay? You have Bluffin, 2-bit, Weeks, Kraken, okay? There's a lot of many different exchanges here that you can use, and remember that by using them you do get access to the trading community. You do get access to mindpillar.com, which you do have all of these great tools that, you know, we like to use for our trading decisions, okay? CVD divergence, order flow, and you do get access to them, guys, okay? At mindpillar.com, once you sign up throughout one of the links and do a minimum deposit, you do your own trading, of course, as always, and you get access to the community, okay? 2-bit freezes a lot for me. I find Bluffing better. Yeah, Bluffing for me is one of the... I like Bluffing very, very much. For me, it is also one of my favorites. Bluffing is a very, very good exchange. So yeah, we are hitting that resistance. Let's see if we do get that pullback. We did have a few reasons to believe that a pullback could happen here. I did not get stopped out in the end. We are hitting the overall range point of control from June, July, and August. So, I mean, it is that higher time frame resistance area, which naturally can bring that pullback. Several reasons to believe that we might have formed a finished 3-wave move up. Right now, the overall question, as explained here on the analysis today, right, was, is this a third wave, 1, 2, 3, or is it an ABC? If it is an ABC, a bigger pullback is very, very possible, even with the potential of moving down to the lows. And if it is a wave 4, then we'll have to see, right? Wave 4s are usually long in time. They're very rangy. And the invalidation for the wave 4 is hitting the golden pocket from the latest pivot higher low from today to this local high. So if we do hit golden pocket, the probabilities of this being a 3-wave corrective structure is obviously very, very high. Double 1 2 will not be looking very interesting, as this move up is twice the length of this. You don't want your second wave 1 to be longer, much longer, okay, than your first wave 1. It can be a bit longer, okay, 120 to 140% longer. That is fine, but not 200% longer, right? That decreases the probability. That means that you're either looking for a finished 3-wave correction if you do get down to the golden pocket, and if you do hit, and if you do range in a very corrective matter, right, lots of overlap, like a bit of a channeling formation, probabilities do increase for a wave 4. Okay, so that could be interesting, because the wave 5, you know, could form a bit of a double top, right? We will be eyeing this as a setup tomorrow, I would say, because you need this rangy correction. And if you just blast through here to the upside, then we understand that we're still forming that impulsive move up, right? We're still developing the impulse. You got a bunch of 1-2s being developed throughout Friday, today, right? Friday weekend and today, basically bunch of 1-2s building up, a bit of high volume, and you know, just be aware that we could get that pop and continue to the upside here. So yeah, the only next short attempt that I would take, this is probably going to get stopped out now as we speak, the only level, yeah, there we go, stopped out from the short. Not sure if I would consider here a local double top. Yeah, very much aware of blasting out here based on this scenario, right? Which is just still forming an impulse here to the upside. But the next level, which is a bit of an SFP level, that I would be interested in, is this one. Always being aware that you just could move higher based on this unfinished impulse, right? But yeah, because we have the golden pocket with the lower highs, an SFP here would be aggressive but valid. But if we just slice through here to the upside, then yeah, we're not going to be interested in taking that short trade, basically, because you know we do have the impulsive move that, you know, that is unfinished, right? Yeah, so we got a stop loss for the journal. We got a stop loss for the journal, which I will fill in on the journal after the stream. I need to fill the trades from July and part of August, which is not many. But yeah, that was a stop loss hit, guys. And yeah, the only zone of interest for a potential short would be an SFP from these highs. That could be a little bit more aggressive entry, tight stop loss, move down, protect position, cover fees, right? Kind of trade. Because you could always just form a local, you know, local wave 3 right there. So that's, you know, potentially forming your wave 3 right there. Then you correct down and then you finish this impulse later on. So maybe the pullback could be very, very shallow here. So you form that SFP, you correct, and then bang, right? and then you have that longer correction, and then bang, and then you form that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the next coming days. So impulse development in wave 3 here still is very much a scenario, so we want to be cautious and trying to short, right? This is a zone where it can be dangerous, right? People shorting, adding to shorts, getting stopped out once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. That's where you actually create the mistake, right? So just have your levels. My only level right now would be these lower highs right there for that potential SFB, guys. You know, for me, I'm not going to go crazy on trying to predict the exact top here on this. I had my reasons to believe that we could have rejected here. There was a possibility, right? Hitting the point of control of the entire range. It could have been a 3-wave structure up, right? It is a major level. Point of control has changed ever so slightly depending on what price action you get. And it looks like it wants to try and break this point of control with this leg up, which can bring that wave 3 to the upside, right? Ends up being an impulse, right? There were reasons to believe that this could have been a 3-wave move up, hitting that point of control. Yes, for the moment, let the price run. Hopefully you have taken significant profits from the short mentioned on the weekend, right? The trading setup idea, right? That was shared on a video update last Saturday, right? Previous Saturday, not the one 2 days ago. We got a move of over $1,000 to the downside. We can't ask for much more in this range. It was actually over $2,000. And you want to take profits. You want to take profits on that short. So it is coming very, very close to the entry here on that short. As if this wants to load. Yeah. Chances of a low, I mean, we got the triangle scenario here. We do have the triangle scenario. But yeah, anybody that took that short, if anybody did take the short from last weekend, last Monday, if you wish, you want to take, you know, most of the profits. Obviously, just understanding that we are in a range, there is the chance of forming a triangle. You know, the thing about this being corrective from this point, a corrective range here is very real. Very, very real. The options of the bearish scenario, expanding diagonal, it is there. It is there. So that's why leaving some open from this zone makes sense. Triangle formation means that you would be looking for a breakout to the upside. Because if you have a triangle being formed in a uptrend momentum, one wave up here, that means that you're likely going to push up. So we still have a few days for the triangle to complete, which we still need the E wave, right? Which is going to be in the next couple of days, right? If we do form a lower high here, the movement down is going to be studied very, very carefully in the next couple of days, because I'm incredibly interested in a new long position. And this long trade will be to take out the overall highs at 67k, because then I understand volatility. You know, we're going to spit out from this range already because we are squeezing into a triangle. And if we're coming from an uptrend, naturally we're looking for that pop to the upside. So yeah, I will be looking for this long this week if we do you get this correction, of course, right, between this week, I mean, maybe next week, it really depends. But if we do continue squeezing, looking for a long setup, invalidation is crystal clear. It's the C wave. You can't hit that low. And I would be looking for this long setup to take out 67k, and obviously maybe go to higher prices. We're going to have to manage that trade accordingly. But this is a very, very interesting trade for the week that I would be eyeing very, very carefully. I would say it would possibly happen this week. So yeah, if you're interested in obviously knowing if I'm taking a new trade, if I'm not on YouTube, you guys have the trading community, guys. Remember, it is the first link down below. Send me the word access if you are interested in joining to the Telegram. This is the Telegram link down below, guys. If you want to know exactly, the trading setups that I am entering, that is if they're not entered or mentioned on YouTube, of course. Because we do try our best as well to share it on YouTube. But if we're not on YouTube, we share them inside of the trading community. Myself, Devil, right? Trades that we are looking to take. So yeah, first link down below. You got the information shared as soon as you send me the word access, guys. You just sign up throughout one of the affiliate links down below in the description, and do a minimum deposit for your own trading. That's the only thing that we ask. Use the links down below on the exchanges for your trading. So you get access to the trading community, you get access to mindpillar.com with all of the different indicators and tools that we also use. Evening, mate. Rudy is here. Much love to you, Rudy. Talking about Femex. We just tapped the 65 of the GP on my chart. Can I provide some quick thoughts on gold? Can you provide some quick thoughts on gold, Andy, if possible? Gold, shall we do gold, guys? Let me know yes or no in the comment section. As Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a push, a little bit of a volatile wiki move here. So yeah, wave 3 developing here is very, very real at this stage. We're trying to break that point of control from June and July and August. Skeptical if it does reject from here. It's been a nasty wick. Yeah, it would be a bit of a nasty rejection, like cheeky rejection if it does from here. But I like the SFP zone. It looks better at 64.4. If that is broken, then higher we go, guys. Understanding that, we still could be developing the wave 3. It's going a little bit parabolic, volume increasing, difficult short based on confluence. We are hitting the golden pocket. Golden pocket has just been hit, the 6.5 Fibonacci, 618 from the move down, which is for me, they're always it's always an aggressive short if we only have the golden pocket. But golden pocket is the most respected Fibonacci retracement, right? So yeah, sometimes you just tap it and then you leave, right? But the only way that you can short a Fibonacci level, and I know Devil likes to do it very well, and he does it very, very well, is tap into the golden pocket and short execution entry, right? A very, very scalping mentality entry to get into these kind of trades. But the only way you can enter, how it is as soon as you tap into the golden pocket, that's your entry on the rejection with stop loss at the high. You get a movement down that is making it 2-to-1, right? You already want to cover the stop loss, you want to cover the fees, and leave that trade to see if it does become a bigger rejection. I know Devil is very, very good with these sniper trades. I mean, I do enter them if I am aware, I'm aware, maybe in the trading community, if I'm obviously looking at these entry points, and in front of the charts. Tomorrow I'm going to be all day in the community, answering questions, doing analysis, looking for local scalp entries. So if that is of your interest, guys, to join the community tomorrow, I'm going to be focusing on intraday setups for myself. You got the first link down below, okay? That's the Telegram. Send me the word access if you are interested in joining. Hopefully it's going to be a good day. Andy, weren't you watching a short right now? Well, yeah, for me, it would be best as an SFP here. This would be the best zone for me. Okay, that's for me. But if you are an aggressive trader, I mean, for me, this is a missed trade because it's a scalp execution entry at the exact 618 Fibonacci from the move down of last week, right? It's like it's a very, very aggressive entry, guys. You need to be ready to sniper trade. It's a sniper trade basically. 618 tap, quick entry on the rejection of the 618, which is this blue horizontal line, right? Shorting right now on the rejection, realizing the risk. This would not be the entry. This would not be the entry right now. It's late. If I didn't execute the exact sniper trade reaction at the 618 Fibonacci, I'm not going to enter here. Understanding the risk of the impulse still on the formation here, right? Still possible impulse and an uptrending structure. If I enter this short, it has to be where it needs to be on the reaction, quick rejection of the golden pocket, right? 618, not golden pocket, because golden pocket is a range. But it would have to be at the 618 tap, which is the most respected Fibonacci retracement in history, if you wish, right? You shaved? Yes, I did. It was getting a bit scruffy. Beard was getting a bit scruffy. What levels could we dump to now? What levels could we dump to now? We need to consider Elliott wave theory here very, very much in this uptrend, okay? For the moment, if we consider Elliott wave theory, this is still a 3-wave move up. So this could still be a C wave, let's say. This is still a 3-wave looking structure till you do not get a corrective move similar in size to this. Even smaller. I mean, this was extremely long on the weekend, of course, Saturday and Sunday. If we do correct in this zone without hitting the golden pocket from this pivot low to the pivot high, this could be a wave 4, and then you create the wave 5, of course. Right, so the question of what level could we correct down to, is complex here at the moment, because we could correct down aggressively, and this becomes a 3-wave move, and that's really forming that larger triangle. It's one of those areas where a triangle formation could be real here. Do we form a shallow range bull flag looking correction here in the next 24 hours, right? Do we get a very flaggy correction, which will bring obviously the option of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Very, very aggressive short at the 618, I have to say. I missed this short. It is aggressive trading for me to sniper trade that 618 touch, but I have to say, the golden pocket 618 is the most respected Fibonacci retracement, so we cannot deny that getting a bigger pullback from this at this point is very, very possible. But because I still have significant long from July and still that short running from last week, if we were to get that pullback down from here, I missed the entry at the 618, but I would still manage to profit from this trade, of course, which will be mentioned in we'll put inside of the journal. I need to put this stop loss in the journal, right? There's no creating this journal, so you can actually see every single trade from now on, guys. No hiding, no pure transparency, just so you can see the all of the trade setups that are mentioned either in the Telegram and also on YouTube. Okay, so I need to fill all that between today and tomorrow, just so you can see how we manage the trades with stop losses, with take profits, and just so you can see a trader's journey, right? Is it possible still to be an ABC and now we go down? Absolutely, even though it would be a pretty extended ABC. There's always that option of forming an expanding fifth wave where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have an expanding fifth wave. However, probabilities are decreasing ever so slightly because of the extension. It is quite rare for an ABC to extend all the way to the beyond the 2 to 1, right, from wave A. So this is over twice the length. Common target for a C wave is the 1 to 1 to the 1382 zone. That's the common area, which should have been literally here, right? That should have been preferably the C wave target. And when you extend beyond the 1.618, it always favors a little bit more the wave 3 rather than a wave C. Okay, it's just like that. It's based on probabilities that this is decreasing in probabilities to be an ABC, and it's rather more a 5 wave impulse. You're developing wave 3 here. It's increasing in probabilities that this is looking like a wave 3 at the moment, based on the extension of wave A. I have seen C waves hit the 2 to 1 extension. They are real, they are valid, but it's more common for an extension when you pass the 1.618 extension, which is right over here, 1.618. When you pass this zone, it starts decreasing in probabilities that you're looking at an ABC, and you're very likely looking at a third wave developing, right? So yeah, very much aware of that, which makes it, I'm not super interested in the short at the moment. Only a sniper trade would be that SFP at 64.4k, which is this level right over here. Still a pretty snipey short that probably won't be executed on the stream because we're not sure if we're going to reach that level. But if we do reach it on stream, I think it's a valid entry short. For the moment, I have no local shorts personally. I didn't get into the short at the 618 and paid fees and stop loss, right? That's what you want to do when you do get into this kind of sniper trade. I did not enter this short, but it was it's a valid aggressive sniper trade at the 618 from the move down, and obviously not shorting with the movement down, me personally, right? It's against my rules. If I didn't short the exact level, I'm not going to FOMO short, right? Believing, it's going to leave without me. I'm fine with the price moving down. I am going to manage to find another trade throughout tomorrow. Got stopped out on one trade already today, so I'm patiently looking for the next opportunity, which is not currently where we at on the price action that we have. So yeah, Rudy the Master, very active in the community. We got very active traders and technical analysts inside of the community, guys, and Rudy is one of them. Shout out to Rudy, who's here in the comment section. Andy, remember when with the community we won the bluffing competition a few months ago? We need another one. That's when I got so concentrated. Yeah, Path. Yeah, we do have the 2-bit one at the moment. I want to ask to see if we do have the bluffing competition. I know there's one coming up, so let me get that information. We did win the bluffing competition, and it does incentive people such as you, Path Maria, to be more consistent, look for local opportunities, more scalps. And yeah, we'll look for a bluffing one as well. But there is an active 2-bit competition at the moment, which is in the pinned comment, guys. If you are interested in joining the competition for that prize pool, which is over $3 million, I think, of prize pool. Yeah, we'll be updating on that throughout the next streams and video updates. What about the 078? Its value area high of August 2, says Poria Beat. 078 Fibonacci is value area high of August 2. Of this range, right? August, I wouldn't consider, yeah. $0.78 from this high to this low. I mean, because we can definitely reject at the 7.8. You know, we do have that triangle formation here, which is very, very possible. A, B, C, D, E. It's still a possibility, but trading a triangle becomes interesting at the E point. That's when you know that this range is coming to an end stage, and this can provide an awesome, right, regardless of where the D point is. It can be here. Yeah, what becomes interesting is analyzing very carefully this movement, because that's what's going to bring a great swing long. It's going to take over a week to develop, but this is a trade that I will be paying attention in for this week. Obviously, we need the E wave, right? Because we only have 4 pivots at the moment. So it's the movement down. Is it going to be corrective and overlapping? And then that is going to be very, very interesting. I know this could be a very, very good long trade setup, but we need that information, which will be given in the next few days, guys. Okay, so yeah, we'll be eyeing this, of course. We got a few scenarios. I'm doing the trading community tomorrow, so let's see if we do find some local setups, guys. If you are interested, you know where to find us. It's the first link down below. Send me the word access to the Telegram. I'm going to be busy with the trading community doing my best for some local intraday setups. Much love to everybody. Path Maria, thanks for joining. Little stop loss today that will be put inside of the journal. And yeah, we'll be following up on the next analysis and setups inside of the trading community. Thank you, everybody, for joining today's stream. A little bit of a difficult zone. Only scenario here that I see is this lower high. I want to be a little bit cautious based on the impulse up, right? 4-5. So yeah, just be cautious, guys, here a little bit based on the acceleration that we had in today with this move to the upside. Much love. Doing the follow-ups tomorrow, guys, in the trading community. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.